So welcome. Today we are going to draw something unusual. Today we are going to draw very big triangles. So we are going to learn and draw levels, logical levels of Robert Dilts. It's the full name is Logical Levels of Learning and Change. If you're interested, there are many of his books. I like this one, From Coach to Awakener by Robert Dilts. There is a lot of information here, very good one. So if you just recommend, he's considered to be a guru of NLP. So there is a lot of information he provides there. Okay, so the goal for us to really learn how what we need to change, what we need to learn to make difference at the present moment, or in the future. Like if you are not satisfied with what you have right now, what you can do to learn something new. And we are going to, first, what we are going to do, we are going to draw big triangle. As always, I'm like, there's always so many times I repeated, be careful with triangles. So today, if you dare, we draw big triangle and it just go up. Just look how it's going to look. So it's a crossing and it goes above. So this will be the level 6. And level 6 is magic. Come on. Oh, wait.
The technology today.
It doesn't behave today. So
here you go. It's good.
Here we go. And I use a vertical side of paper, so it will be a little bit challenging to really present to fit the whole page. So if I'm doing something here, you will not see it. Wait, is it right now? There should be.
It's good.
It's good. So now this triangle, we are dividing it at 5 pretty much equal levels. Level 1, level 2, level 3, 4, 5, and this will be level 6. And the first level, first of all, whatever we do in Neurographica, we find the topic, what you want to change, what you are not satisfied with right now. So it could be relationship, it could be health, it could be business, it could be education, maybe some other relationships with something else that we are not aware. It could be relationship with kids as well. So if you want to change something, bring it as a topic. Okay, and what would be my topic today? Okay, my topic for today will be my something that I want to change. For me today, there will be health. So my topic is going to be about health. Yours, pick yours. We are not going to activate anything today, but just follow this pyramid to discover what needs to be presented. So the first level is level that answer questions where and when. Whatever surrounds you, all your things that related to this topic, so you can represent them as a circle. So for example, my relationship, my topic is health. So my surroundings and I just keep drawing them. It could be some health issue that you are not satisfied. It could be, let's say, weight that you are not satisfied, or maybe something good that you are satisfied. Like, okay, so maybe one of my good things that I'm satisfied that I can hike and be active in nature, not very often, and all these bikes and hikes and other stuff, walkings. Some maybe it's a diagnosis that you have that you want to like present as the circles. Again, the circles that we're bringing give this best potential, and if any of these things that you have has a very strong pressure, there is very strong emotional relationship to it, you can do catharsis inside of the circle. Okay, so what else about my health? What else about my health? So if you're working, for example, financial aspects, money will be representing some aspects as well. So last time I did, my topic was about business. So everything that I had related to the business, everybody who is surrounding me, like my partners, my colleagues, my other relationships that related to me was presented on the level 1. So what else is you want to draw on this level? So this level called environment. So where and when. So it's really everything that surrounds you. It could be tangible or untangible as well. So it's maybe some emotions that surrounds you that you really not satisfied with. Okay. Like one of my surrounds, like that I need to work out about my schedule. And something else. So circles can be overlapping, they can be bigger than this level, they can go over part of the second level as well. So just draw as many circles as you want. And if you don't know some names yet of the circles, that you cannot really identify what exactly does it present, but you know there should be some here, you can just draw it. So this is a quite concrete level. So this is a, something that you really can identify quite well. So next level is behavior. Okay, I think my spelling is challenged. So behavior, what do you do? What do you do so you have environment? You cannot change anything on the level of this level before you go to the next level. You have to look what kind of actions, what kind of activity you do, what do you do? So as a result, you have your environment around you. So for example, related to the health, I work a lot, and this can represent that I don't have much time for workout or something else, or I can be so, and I can draw them as a circle as well. So I work. Another thing that can be so I get lazy. This is an action as well. Like I prefer to watch movie instead of walking. My behavior can be so, but I do dedicate one day a week that I'm very like active, physically active. And I do walking every evening. At least I try. So see what kind of behavior that if, for example, last time when I was working with business, there was other things that I really represent verbs, like really, what do you do? Like how you can represent. So for example, if for a relationship, like if you, do you take your partner to the restaurant, or do you take your partner for a walk? Or for relationship, do you talk regularly? Do you spend time together? So this is all these actions that can represent and be related to your topic. So we always talking about your topic. If you don't know yet what this actions may be presenting, but you know that I see that this is really a good place to have a circle, I can just draw it and see how I feel about it. I'm really trusting this. Okay, so it should be here. I don't really know yet, but the meaning will be very soon available. So I will just trust it. It should be here. So some kind of action that as a result can be ending, changing my environment. So environment is changing. It's quite easy to change. You just have to do something differently. Like if you every day try something new, your environment will be changing. It's not necessarily will be very fast. It's not necessarily will be the way you expect, but there will be some changes for sure. There will be some reactions from your environment. So if you want to change your actions, if you want to change your behavior, you have to go on a level up. So every level are really working from one level above to level lower. So it's, this is how they impact each other. So if you go to the level 3, this level will represent capability and skills. Skills and capability. And this level really answers the question how I do it, like what kind of skills I have, what kind of knowledge, what kind of qualifications I have. So what really drives me and motivates me to act like this. So if I work many hours, it's maybe because I don't have enough skills. Maybe I don't know something. This is my lack of experience, maybe, or maybe it's a lack of qualification. So another thing that's like, if I lazy, maybe it's capability or my skills is really, let's see, how the laziness can be related to my capability and education. It's a very good question, how to change it. Maybe my skills, it's a really tricky question. I ask myself a very tricky question. How to change laziness? If I, maybe the easiest way to change laziness is name it not the laziness, but a relaxation. So maybe I need to learn how to relax and how to really turn off my, like maybe my skills. I need to develop more my meditation time. So I will not have to relax and be lazy, and I can be more active. So could be the skills that I can acquire. Another thing that, for example, if I had such an idea and it's gone. What else? I was behavior active. So another thing is skills that I have a skill. I have understanding and learning about it. Moving, everyday moving, be active is very important. This is a skill. This is actually education. It requires a lot of experience to learn and how to be active and safe at the same time, that you don't have to. One of my skills that I can bike. I can ride a bike. Another skills can be something else, like maybe I need to learn a little bit more about diet. There's a lot of books that I can acquire the skills. Maybe I need to learn about how to work more as a team, like how to have more people as a teamwork. So this is a capability. This is really challenging for some people, and me including. So again, so I'm trying to learn some skills to change my behavior, and this will impact my environment. So everything that I learned here will impact everything below. But if I want to change my skills, and if I want to change my qualifications and capability, what should I change above? What is above? Above are our values and beliefs. Values and beliefs. And this is actually really the moment when we have sorting out all this limitations and inspirations. So limitations and motivation. So values really will give us so much motivation. Like if I think that the health is important, is my value that health is the priority, I will acquire enough knowledge how to support my health. And this knowledge will move me to change my behavior. And as a result, I will have some things as a confirmation of my behavior. So my environment will change as well. One of these environments that I have, like we have such a beautiful Washington state. If you want to hike, come to us. It's a beautiful, really opportunity. I want to acknowledge it, that like I have all environment right now that it can be used as a motivation as well. So what kind of other values and beliefs? Well, beliefs could be minus, can be limitations. So one of the beliefs, for example, that I have such a body structure that never can be skinny. It's a like big minus. And it's actually not true, because I know that there was time in my life where I was very skinny. So this, I know already that this is limitation. So how I can change limitation? So this is, let's say that I know that health is important. This is a positive. This is a motivation. But if I have a minus, this is a limitation. How I can change my beliefs from negative, from limiting, to something inspiring and motivating. And this is, for example, you can look at your belief and transform it, like turn it in 180 degrees, like really find all this confirmation. Why is it false? Why is it really falling apart? So as example, like for my example, like about the body structure, and I know that I've been skinny, and I know that it's really not a question about the body structure. It's really the question about my taking some actions related to it. If some of the belief system about, for example, about prosperity could be one of the most important, that big money doesn't make you happy. So this could be very limiting belief system, belief. If you with a relationship, for example, if you're working with a relationship with your child, the one of the beliefs that could be very limiting, that like every family has a difficult time with teenagers. It's not true. Not every family has such a difficult. It's different time, but it's not always difficult. It's not always challenging. So it's more like excuse for you than really opportunity to find base ground with your child. Some beliefs can be that this disease, like nobody knows what it is, and it's never can be healed. So we know there are so many confirmations about medical miracles, and pharmacy is really going very well, and tried to there are so many opportunities to heal diseases that like about 10 years ago was considered permanent, chronic. So it's changing. So, and we have to find all these arguments to make sure that all these beliefs are turning into positive motivations. Some of this could be very like very hard to discover. So it's very challenging to find what is really limiting about this belief. Could be like, for example, mother starts working, and young mother and child is still be very young, and you try to find some job, and you don't really cautiously sabotage it, but it's as a mother, you have so many concerns about time spending with your child will be much less, and so many other arguments relate to it, and maybe some fears that can be limiting as well. As a result, you will sabotage what you are looking for. Like you will not, it will be very hard for you to find a good job, because belief system, like beliefs that are all stuck here, are limiting and are there is like second I forgot the word. There are some reasons why you are it's better if you don't do it, like for yourself. Like there is such limitations. Okay, how we can change beliefs. And we can go on above level, and the above level is really answers the question who you are. This is identity. Who you identify yourself. If I identify myself as a old woman, all other beliefs will be aligned with this, all skills will be and capability will be limiting to this identity that I really present myself, and with all the behavior and environment as well. But if I will identify myself as a very strong and healthy woman, it's a completely different story. And it's interesting, like if you look, for example, there is such a huge difference in, for example, women at age 65. There is some of them like really ready to for retirement. Life is over. They prepare to be grandmothers. They dress up like grandmother and like really follow all the steps. Especially it's obvious in Russia. Like, so there is very concrete decision like 65, I'm old. If you look in America, in Europe, 65 is a golden age. Like really people start being very active and very happy and travel, and there is completely different identity. So they really identify themselves as a people at freedom. There is much less responsibilities and so much opportunities for them. So it's very important. How do you identify? What you identify yourself? Do you identify yourself as a partner? Do you identify yourself as a businesswoman? Do you identify yourself as a lucky person? If you will consider yourself a lucky person, you will have different values, you will have different beliefs and skills. You will learn how to be lucky. You will learn what really motivates you and what kind of symptoms for luckiness you have. Like usually, oh, I have such a like sunny day. It's usually my lucky day. So I will follow these steps and do such and such. And as a result, you will impact and change your environment. So this is always aligned with your identity. Many people has a very challenging steps to identify themselves. They usually complain about what they have. They may even identify what they do, but skills and values are very hard to, not everyone can do it. And if you, one of this example, like students come to work after university, and like if you ask them like, who are you, like what can you do, and they say like, oh, I have a degree. So it's something tangible, something that represents environment. So they really represent, like they identify themselves at this level. They don't go anywhere beyond. They don't really see the potential. So everything that we change on higher level has much more impact and have much more potential. It will last much longer. It will impact so many levels of your existence. So see what kind of identity, what kind of, what do you recognize yourself related to your topic? How do you recognize it? How do you present yourself to other people related? Like if you working with like relationship and I really not satisfied with everybody who is around me, with my people around, with my partner, with being in commitment, and your identity is I free, happy woman. There is no question why you are not satisfied with your partnership, because the identity has a different values, and identity have a different skills how to be happy and how to be free. So it's very important to really align your environment and your identity to make sure that you really recognize who you are. Every person has different roles, different identities. And if we actually look at every person that on the, let's say, so this triangle represents my health. Another triangle will present my business. Another one will represent my relationship. And this everything will have different roles. Everything will have different roles. Like if a health, it will be healthy woman. This could be a businesswoman. It could be mother, could be wife, could be something else, could be partner, business partner, could be teacher. What else? What kind of other? It could be daughter. So we have so many roles, and our effectiveness is really recognizable by how easily, how effectively I can switch between roles. If I come home when my son needs me as his mother, and I still be in the role as a businesswoman, there will be trouble, there will be miscommunication, there will be different skills and different behavior that as a result will be a conflict in environment. So we need to learn how to be effective between those roles, how we can easily integrate all of them in our life. So if I want to go beyond my identity, there will be on the top of my pyramid, there will be some terminology that's called beyond identity. There will be some mission, there will be some karmic destiny, some purpose in life. You can name it differently, but some how to really what is the purpose, what is really driving you from the core of your existence, from your what is the purpose in life, what is mission is a very high name. I'm very skeptical about, like, everybody thinks that like we have a mission, and it seems a little bit like too much, but see what is really you want to accomplish in life. So, like, you want to, when what is the goal of your life, what is the motivation, the biggest motivation in your life, like what is really you want to be experiencing during this life. So this is the mission. And if you can recognize what is your mission will be on top of all your roles. It's not just related to the health, but health will be aligned to your mission. So if your mission will be, I want to be a traveler, like I want to travel around the world and explore the whole world and meet as many, integrate all these cultures inside of me. So if it's your mission, all your roles will be aligned to it. There will be biggest drive from your heart to accomplish this goal, to accomplish this purpose. So if your mission is to make sure that the education in your country is getting better and better, or is or maybe your health, maybe your motivation is build up strong community. This is the strongest motivation for you. All your roles will have related to it. Like all your roles will be, even if your mother, if your daughter, you will build up community around all your roles. It will be aligned with this. So see what kind of what kind of mission you feel is appropriate for you, like you want to explore. So Matthew, I was raised with this belief in predestination and purpose set out before you were born. It is blocking actually and makes you feel that you never quite measured up. Okay, so let me think about it. So I think that there is a lot of things, like when we are born, we have somehow agreed to learn something during this present life. There is some kind of challenge or lesson that we need to accomplish, that we need to explore, that we need to grow our soul. But how we are going to do, it's really depends on us. It's really free will, and you can learn it fast. You can learn it deeper and better understand and get prepared for every new lesson and pass this test like very easily. Like if you go to school, the school may be assigned to you, like you really don't pick the school and you don't even pick the teachers, but it's your decision how you going through the school. It's really how you learn these classes, how you prepare yourself for these classes. It's not really fully predestination. It still be your decisions and your responsibility to go with your life. I believe that, and it's interesting, like when I say just I believe, it feels like a limitation right away. I feel, let's say like I feel that mission is a process. That if we set up like, okay, I have to, as a result of my life, I have to be considered as a teacher. It's like something tangible at the end you have to have. But how you can recognize a mission as a process of your soul evolution, as a growing, as a exploring your possibilities, because missions are changing. Whatever is if you would ask me like 10 years ago, first of all, the word mission would be like really considered as a diagnosis. I would say like, I don't know what you're talking about. Secondly, there was much different purposes in life, much different energies, much different values in my life. So right now, my mission is really, and I learned about it on Wednesday, that right now I feel that my mission is to look and see the best potential in people who are around me. Like what, if I can see, if I learn how to see the divine seed in every person, this would be a blessing. Definitely blessing for everyone who is around me. I don't know how to do it yet. I'm not there for sure, but this is really a motivation, how I can look inside not inside, like to every person, and see the best potential they can be. So this is my motivation. This is my mission. It's maybe different. Maybe in 2 years I say like, okay, done, or maybe it's changed. So I cannot say that it will be my whole life purpose. And it's a and we learn about our mission in the process of life. Like life is a process. Like if we would just follow like, okay, so what is your goal in life? The goal in life to prepare for your death. It's not quite a exciting moment, but how you can really enjoy the life, how you can enjoy the process, how you can enjoy every day, every breath, every emotion, every experience in the life itself, like while walking, while you're moving in life. So see what kind of mission you have, what kind of motivations you have. It could be big, it could be huge, it could be like smaller size. So see, it could be like big circle on top. Okay, so it wants to be, today it's going to be big again. Be generous to yourself. Don't try to limit yourself with mission. If you take a big mission, and again, whatever you consider it for you big, it's maybe small, much small, or seems small to other people. But for you, for your soul, it will be valuable, it will be important. And it's okay that every person has different purposes in life. Some people want to conquer the world. Some people want to create happy family. And both those missions are as important and as valuable. Okay, so a lot of words. Now, fun part. Now we start activate this pyramid, and we draw narrow lines from bottom to top. And we activating our mission. And I highly recommend go along the edge of your triangle to make sure that it's look organic. And we move and move. And see, how do you feel? Don't rush. It's really, may take some time. Try different speed. See how you feel comfortable with this movement. See how it really resonates with you. You can take a deep breath. Inhale, exhale. Observe your physical sensations, what is going on in your body. Is there anything going on in your body? And we will start rounding all these crossings. We activated all those levels. We now consciously can recognize what is really, how I can change, how do I learn, what do I need to learn to make difference, to change my environment, to change my beliefs, that everything is just a result of my role. Like what kind of, like if you are consciously try to see like what kind of role I am right now. And we just round all these corners. That you can start wherever you feel is the right, is the best option for you, where you attracted to start rounding. You can start from the bottom to top or from the top to bottom. Follow your intuition. So see what is really important for you. Maybe you want to explore your role. I just consider interesting. I have an interesting insight that because all my life I felt like I'm healthy all the time because I have a just good health in general. I really didn't do much for my health. It just always felt like it's always been there. It's not, you know, like some people just born into wealth and they don't know how it's really have to work hard to have money. It's the same about health. The same about many things, like in general. Like if you never had to work hard about it, it's maybe something that it's hard to recognize the value of it. So any of this level can be your resource or could be your limitation. For example, if you are quite ambitious young person and you want to be businessman, but you were born in some kind of small town, there is no much opportunities there. It will be limitation, but it's at the same time it can give you different resources. Maybe your family is very supportive, maybe your friends were very supportive, or maybe it's just such a horrible environment that it's a great it's really great resource and motivation for you to move forward, to change this environment, to escape from there, do whatever it takes to change something in your life. So you don't have to be stay in the same environment forever. So it could be very big motivation. It's much harder to change something in life when you have something to lose. If you have nothing to lose, this is really a great opportunity for you. You much much easier will be experimenting, trying to find some new solutions, and it will be you have to go sometimes in va-bank, so to find really the best solutions, the best solving problems.
Anna, can I ask you to go backwards?
Like
I don't understand what the environment really is. Like, is it was the specific health issues that you wanted to work with?
Yes, everything that related to health, positive and negative as well. So everything, all my confirmations, like, okay, so if you're working with the health, what right now you have? What kind of health? What is surroundings around you? What kind of people around you related to your health? How you relate, why you connect them, all your associations related to your health.
So it's kind of like the components of what you want to change.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. It's a very good question. So if any, okay, are you intentionally only going from bottom to top? No, from top, I actually, you can go from bottom to top or from top to bottom, and it will be the same. So if you're changing your role, everything will be aligned as well. So if you're, as I said, like if my role is, let's say that what kind of example? Well, we are talking about the health. So if my role is like my health, I was just born healthy and I always like be healthy. In this case, I believe that you don't have to do anything related to the health. You can, this could be limitation and really ignorance about some responsibilities that you have to take related to the health. It could be values that I really don't have to invest much time in my health. This is values can be limiting as well. It could be confidence as well, as a value, that I feel that I am healthy in general. And as a result, I will have some skills and capability related to it. So if I don't really consider that I have to invest much time in my health, the skills will be really limiting. The skills will be, I don't have to learn much skills. I don't have to really be active or ride a bike or do something. I don't have to learn how to swim. I don't have to, I really limiting myself on this level. And I will behave accordingly. And as a result, I may have not so healthy. I'm like not so well as a result. So you can follow like from the top, from your role or from any other moments. Like if you look at your skills related to your topic, see how is it really affecting your behavior and how is it affecting your environment. It's interesting that every people, like all people, depending on what they complain about, they complain about different levels. Some people complain that they have a very limiting environment and like they don't really like it, and they they don't know why, and it's really like, oh, why I don't have much money. So this is like really complain, like I'm poor and it's really, I don't have much money, help me. And if you want to help such people, such person, it's really, you are in a position caretaking, like you really, they expect that you come and give them money. Like if the problem is that they don't have something, you give them this. This is limiting, and you can only affect this level for them. It's a caregivers. But if you want to, if they don't, and say like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong, that I don't have money, these people already on different level, and they asking you how you can teach them to change their behavior, to do something differently, and really change the environment as a result. So this position is already about coaching, and coaching is actually about this level and above. So it's a lot of information that you can really coach other people. Coaching is really teach you what to do, how you can change the behavior, how you, what kind of skills you can acquire, what and other things as well. So if you are going to teach people to acquire new skills, you are in a position of teacher. You are teaching, you're giving new capabilities, you're giving new qualifications, you're giving new skills, and this is already affecting level 3. If you want to go on level 4, this is more like advisor, or you mentor. So you working with values, you working with beliefs. It could be religious, of course, mentoring, but not necessary. We don't talk about any religious right now. We're talking about in general how we can change our beliefs. And if we are going to the level of identity, this is already a level of sponsorship. How you really looking beyond all beliefs for the essence of this person, like how you can really see what is hidden, what is the potential, even before they can see it. So this is the level that you can look at the level 5. And if you want to go beyond, this is the awakening. And awakening is, you can see the mission of the people in life. And this is really something that you can see the purpose of this person in life, like how they can affect not just themselves, but other people as well. This is a level of great spiritual teachers, maybe some gurus who can recognize these powers inside of you. So it could be interesting experience for. I honestly haven't seen such teachers in my life yet. I'm praying. I'm still looking for such teacher. We'll see. Everybody is like really saying that this is such a blessing when you find your teacher who can inspire you, who can share the wisdom. And it's almost like giving spiritual birth to people. It's very powerful experience, as other people describe it. I don't know. I haven't found yet. So, but I keep waiting. When I will be ready, it will appear. So it's just presenting that I'm not ready to find such teacher yet. It's okay. Life is a process. We're all learning somehow. And all these lines can go beyond your pyramid as well. So on site, there are some other people, other opportunities, other roles, other purposes in life. So you can expand your neural lines to sides as well, and just reach out to society, just to explore what is hidden there. What is this society can affect you, and how you can affect it as well, because you are part of the society. So the moment you not just even reach out, when you're born, you're already part of the system, and system accept you and take care of you. Not always, not every, but by it's your birthright. Like if you're born in the system, you have the equal right to belong to the system. Just today we did this beautiful class about families and systems, how you can belong to your families and system. So see, how do you feel? Is there any reactions in your body? So try to make sure that your triangle is not rigid. It's like really soft. It still be motivation to move forward, to really concentrate the energy, to activate your actions, to take some responsibilities, to learn something new, take responsibility for what you want to learn, how you need to learn it, where you need to learn it, and see what is opportunity for you available. If you don't know how to change your behavior, or if you don't know how to change your any of those layers, one of those beautiful simple steps that you can do, you can try to imagine that this problem, this topic, is related to somebody else, like your friend or some random people, and you just give them advice related to this topic, without your family systems, without your stories, without your emotions related to it. And you just list all these possibilities that are available for those people, without saying like, oh, I don't know how to do this, and I don't like to do this. Just brainstorm, see what kind of advices you can do to other people related to the same topic. And it usually gives you the whole list of new opportunities, just because you have all those beliefs and limitations. You cannot look this beyond this limitations. But if you would try whatever you advised to other people, it would be a beautiful way to improve yourself, to go out of your box and try something new, something powerful. Okay. And we just keep rounding, and you can add more lines if you need. You may add more circles if you need. And circles can, on sides, could be appearing new people around you or new opportunities. See if you want to add any circles on the sides of this pyramid. Maybe there will be some, on which level, see which level is connected to those circles. Maybe it's opportunity to learn something new, or maybe it's opportunity to try a new role. New role can be very challenging. It's really expanding all levels of our existence, like all levels of our logic. And it will affect many aspects of our lives. So if you just try different roles, like when we have new role of wife, it's really expanding all your new, completely new world for you. Or the role of mother is a very challenging as well, and it's lasting. All these roles usually lasting for quite a long time. It's not necessarily lasting for the whole life, but it can be lasting for a very long time. And it's very important and see, like, if you have any values, what they are, like what is really important for you, what is really will be motivating you. Okay, so how do you feel?
I'm noticing this is a tough one for me.
Tough.
It's really, it's like tearing me back and forth between my cognitive self and like my intuitive self. I get caught up in the thinking about this.
So it's a lot of logic and intuition in conflict, yes?
Yeah, like all the different levels makes me want to think. And then I have my drawing pen in my hand and I want to let go and constellate and be creative, and it kind of like yanks me back and forth.
So
but I find it loosens up when I actually start from the top and I go down.
From your mission. Maybe your mission is really combine logic and intuition.
And even just like trying to envision a mission that might be, or identity that is different than what I currently consider, helps me loosen it up a little.
And again, so mission can have, like, you know, there could be some circle or small circles may start. And as we go, it can start growing and growing. And we just see that like different aspects of mission, and it's changing. It's as we are changing, as we are growing, and our purposes are growing. And it would be very interesting to observe how much and how you feel. You don't have to draw like big mission on top. You can start with something small and grow into it. See how is it really supporting. Maybe it's an art of small steps. Maybe it's an art of more small goals. And it's really like if you start with something small and grow, there will be much more satisfaction in the middle. There will be more purposes to celebrate. Like when we have such a huge goal that we are quite hardly understand even ourselves, because it seems like it seems noble, of course, but it's you have no idea if it's really reachable or not. So maybe something different, something smaller will be much more pleasant and much more motivating at this time. I'm like, if I would look at this from the point of my mission, maybe the first step as a mission would be to recognize that all, it's even hard to say, that all people are good, because I know that there are some people that are evil. That, okay, maybe it's not good. Maybe it's, again, it's really, we are going to the duality. But if the first step of my mission would be to recognize that every person has a purpose. It's kind of obvious, but it's still be. Just recognize the purpose. This could be even better. This is something that you can do, and it still requires some attention and awareness. Yes. It's not as, it seems simple, but it's not easy. Yeah, maybe I need to a little bit readjust my mission for now. And I will be, maybe it will make me even move faster to recognize this one. And it's interesting how we will see ourselves as in one role, and if we ask other people, what kind of role do you see us? Like, well, like, do you recognize me as who? They can give you completely different perspective of what kind of roles you are. Maybe you recognize yourself as a leader, and they will say like that it's completely different purpose that they see in you. Like the role that you taking is different. This is a great opportunity to see how far your ego is taking you. And some people opposite, like some people really see themselves as a shy, not impacting anybody, not inspiring anybody person, have many challenges related to it. And at the same time, other people can recognize them as a very inspiring teachers or as a very inspiring person. I've seen so many in my students such situations when people don't know when they inspire other people. Because we don't really talk much about like who inspire who. We don't really be grateful. Trish, one more thing that about this logic and intuition. It's maybe the conflict is that you're trying to mix them, and logic is just like, you know, like intuition is beyond the logic. You have to logically do the construction, and at some point let it go and allow the intuition to take over and move you somewhere, new places where you've never been. So see if it's really, it resonates with you.
Yeah, I think it's partly just like the nature of the different levels, like to stop and think about each one. I want to try it again where I don't think about what the circles are and just see what happens.
Because it's really interesting that we as humans, we have both tools. We have logic and intuition, and we have emotions. And it's really, the question is, when they all together mixed up, all the troubles are coming. How we can sort them out, and what the value we can, is there any order we can use them? Or I don't know. It's a really good question. Emotions, logic.
I had a similar thing. So when, because the triangle is straight, sort of rigid lines, when we added the wiggly sort of field lines and the neuro lines through it, it brought it to life. And I found that it changed completely when adding very soft and very many lines, you know, the triangle is just one line, but adding, yeah, as organic as possible. I really like this sort of look to interface with the triangle. So it sort of turned it into something that was alive rather than a structure.
Yes, it's very hard to dissolve edges of triangle. It's like, I noticed it myself, and this is why you need to bring a lot of circles and natural lines, like quite a strong ones, like they go and really dissolve this potentially very strong edge. And it's very high desire to dissolve the edges of triangle, because triangle has this power of inner conflict, inner agitation, some kind of questioning everything, like questioning yourself as well. So there is a lot of resistance in triangles. They can give you a lot of energy, but it's there will be some temptation to force this energy in a conflict, in some kind of simple way to resolve this energy. So it's very important to recognize that if I activating this energy, I want to change something. I want to be active and responsible. What kind of actions I'm going to perform. Like if you want to change related to the health, you need to be active as in sports, maybe in education, maybe in some other changes, instead of just going and argue with somebody else next to you, because there will be temptation. It's triangles are not, it's a complicated shape. It's not so simple ones. That's why we draw so many circles around it. And another thing, like I highly recommend, Matthew, try to draw some circles on sides, because just additional lines, it brings aliveness. But if you bring other circles around, it will give you more value. It will give you more balance, like that not everything is in the center. It's there is a much more dynamic background. And the circles can be small or big. See which ones you you want to do, you want to try. We had experience like in the process of education. Everybody who was drawing triangles had some kind of conflict, because it's very hard to really not just activate energy. Everybody can activate energy, but it's how to guide this energy in a positive way, in a creative way. So it's that's why we draw big, but only one triangle and so many circles to balance it, to make sure that we really harmonize this energy, that we really find the solution and usage of it. So we don't just do it for energy in general, because too much energy is more dangerous than lack of energy. I see it from energy practices. When people has so much energy and do nothing, the energy starts poisoning. It's a very, like, you need to know, like, if you're asking for energy, what you're going to use it for. And money in general, it's energy too. So if you want just have money, just to have more money, there will be stuckness of energy, and there will be some poisoning as well. So you need to make sure that, like, if you're looking for big money, they need to move, they need to make some difference, they need to make some investments, development, something, some kind of growth, some kind of activity, because impact to the environment, to community, not just to yourself, but for somebody else. It's an interesting idea for me. I never thought about it before. That energy needs to really. I experienced it several times in constellation work, but it's never look at it as an energy, stuckness of energy, money. Okay. And so it's very important, like if you experience some kind of trauma, and some traumas could be very powerful and very painful, and it can affect you, not just your environment and behavior, but it may affect your role as well. So it's very highly recommended to be with people who still see you in this powerful role that you used to be, that you are not isolate yourself and go in this dark side of all these roles, personal roles, and you can be supported and seen and recognized by somebody else in the role of powerful person. It's most likely you will be recovering from this. It's still be not easy. It may still take some time and a lot of drama on your way, but it's at least it will not damage you as it can be, as you would be isolated. So see who can be your sponsor, who can be your mentor, who can still support you. It's very important for every level, for every step of your logical levels. Okay. See how you're breathing, how you, any sensations, any other discoveries, any other conflicts. It's actually, it's a very good example that all these conflicts related to this inner conflicts, like the triangle is usually represent inner conflicts that it's just easier to express externally, but it's conflict is presenting leadership as well. It's when we say, like, I'm not satisfied with what I have right now, how I can change it, how I can be active, how I can take responsibility, how I can be motivated by it. So triangle, we need triangles. We need triangle to move forward our businesses. We need triangles to be active in sports, to reach, to change. Progress really needs triangles. Like it's all the conflict that really if there would be no triangles, there would be no conflict, there will be no evolution. So we need all these energies. And we need it so much. And when somebody step in such a role, we're really challenged by it. It's a very, like, we understand it's needed, but it's not such a pleasant experience to be in this role as well. Because you need to break some traditions, you need to break some rules, you need to break some relationships as well. There will be some external conflicts. When you have internal conflicts, there will be some results in your behavior, and there will be some results in your environment as well. There will be changes in your surroundings, in your people, in your friends. Not necessarily bad one, but it will be just changing. So everything, every change is a little bit stress. Even a positive one, it's still be. And our mind doesn't like any changes. It will sabotage many things at the beginning. Really try to preserve our stability, even if it's dysfunctional, but it's stable, it's predictable, so it could be, it's quite a challenge. Really to make sure that it's moving, that this ball is really rolling. Okay. I don't even remember, like on Wednesday, if I moved from the bottom to top or from the top to bottom. Today I went from the top to bottom. Okay. Another thing that is very important is when you have this, when we're talking about beliefs and values, it's very important to understand who is your role model, who is really, it's maybe not your values, but somebody else, and you just align them, like, because you're trying this role for yourself as well. And it's see who is a role model for you. Or maybe at that time when you decided this is your role, who was your role model at that time? Because you may still carry on those beliefs from that person, not even yours. The role model could be your parents, it could be your friends, it could be somebody from, it could be hero from, or character from a book or from a movie. And it's very interesting to look who is this role model. And it could be from very early age. We did this, I just finished this course about Neurographica for kids. And we practiced a lot through, on each other with other participants. There was a lot of experience from trying on each other, each model that we learned. And I was still be very surprised how this role models that I admired at age, I don't know, 12, 13, how they still affecting me, how they still be important for me at this moment as well. So even I don't really consciously name them in the list, but they still be presented, they still be somehow integrated in my personality. It was a very interesting experience, how you can go back in different age and really see what was important. And the most important was from this experience was like that it still be affecting me right now. It still motivates me, it still give me some limitations and how I can go and unlock this experience, unlock these beliefs. If they are negative, like, but sometimes when we consider something positive, it can be limiting as well. Depending if there is any conflicts between interests, like this mother that is trying to find a new job, her belief system, belief that is the more I will work, the less hours I will be with child, is really could be positive. There is nothing challenging and there is nothing bad about it, but it's still be a limitation. Okay, so I want to add some circles. here. And I'm almost done with my roundings. And here we are. Interesting. I don't really want to much big impact. Oh, I found one more important part of the environment. It's my friends that really motivates me to be active. I have friends who are very active and they always initiate hikes and bikes and all this fun stuff. So it's really my resource. Okay. I have quite many resources on my environment level, which is good. It's a good sign. And you can bring new environments. Like if you try different role, like if you moved up to the top and you change your role, maybe you can recognize new behavior already ingrained, like something that you can activate, something that you can try right away. Okay. And there's opportunities could be on different levels as well. So it's interesting that I'm chosen the topic of health. Not something that I expected. Okay. And when you're ready, you can start coloring the same way as we do it usually, just separate several segments together. Pencils. I want to try this other pencils today. You may color separate circles, or you may try to establish the flow from the bottom to top. See how this energy is really moving. So you can combine both of this, like you can create the flow and highlight some circles. See how is it really working for you. Just follow. If you're doing the flow, see where does it lead you? Like how does it really moving? Is there any unusual path for you? the colors and flow can intersect, and they just overlap and move forwards. You don't have to really stop the color. You can just go on top of it. See if you want to try. I really don't like to interrupt the movement, the flow of energy. So if you want to experiment, you can try. That, like, it's your drawing, so nobody really says like you cannot do anything about it. Try different things. Try different options. How is it really changing anything in your? You may color everything, or you may just color, or you may leave some white colors as well. So usually about 70% colored and 30% white are the best proportion, but trust yourself. Very often I color everything, so I don't really leave much white.
Can you repeat the percentages again?
It's usually 70 colors and 30 white, but really it's an estimation. So you find what is really seems organic for you, because some and topic will motivate you to use more colors, and what kind of colors. What I lately found, and I did not realize it before, that if I want to create a very gentle, very pale drawing, not very intense, I use harder pencils. And it really gives me beautiful transitions between colors. I can use some shadings easily. So it's not overwhelming, because if I use soft pencils, it's just getting such a strong emotions and such a strong everything, strong colors, strong sensations, body sensations. And I believe that it's just a representation of different topics, because we different topics has a different emotional charge, and it's really we just pick tools and instruments related to the topic, related to the intensity of this emotional charge related to the topic. There is nothing there is no coincidences. There is always some kind of representation. Okay. I have some words colored. There are some notes. And try to blend different colors. Like, really, don't afraid to ruin your drawing. I'm like highly recommend to experiment, highly recommend to try something unusual. Maybe sometimes you pick random colors that really doesn't fit in anything, but somehow they still could be very beautiful in blending. So they can be very inspiring to try something new, something unusual. Let's see. Example, I will try this new brown color. It's interesting about brown color. So brown color is very comforting, and many people use the brown color in decor, and it's really relaxing. But if there is too much brown color, it has effect of suppressing free will. And the analogy is related to the Nazists have a brown uniforms. And when there is such an army of brown soldiers marching, it has a lot of emotional effect on people who is just observing it, not just by colors, besides all this other aspects of this marching soldiers, but colors can represent this suppressing free will as well. So it's a very interesting how it's colors related to such emotions. In Russia, we had brown dresses for girls when we had the uniform at schools. We had brown colors. Sometimes some girls had blue uniform. That's was very rarely and hard to find, and 1 or 2 girls in school had blue ones, and it's usually some presentations that parents could had some connections to find such rare uniforms. So it's interesting how it was only what 30 years ago, such determination of power that your child was wearing the different color in the school. So I don't know if in US public schools was wearing uniform before. I know that private schools wearing it right now, but I'm not sure about public ones. Okay, something else is missing here. So let's see. Interesting how they almost identical. Matthew, do children in Australia have to wear a uniform to schools?
Yeah, both public and private. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Right now in Russia, they have some kind of uniforms, but not strict ones. Like there is some selections and there's some suggestions, but it's much like broad selection of uniforms. But yeah.
Yeah, no, there's discipline related to it. So yeah, it's a reasonably strict uniform code. In some ways it's better because you don't have to think about what to wear, and there's no social hierarchy based on what clothes you have.
It's really, different stories. When everybody is wearing the same, it's just different relationship, different associations. We have so much emotions related to some stuff that can be for other people not much emotionally charged. But it's interesting. I was talking about not recently, but maybe months ago with some other Russian women that was about the uniform and how that was really experiencing in the school. And she was like, so proudly said, like, I was wearing blue one, and it's like you feel like this is the presentation of blue blood. So it's still people like was wearing the blue uniform 30 years ago, and there's still beside so much honor and be proud of it. Like it was. It's not. It wasn't only my imagination. It was. Cultural. It was ingrained in our society at that time. So it's nice to confirmation that it's not just something that you was worried about, but it's something that it was. You just recognized it as a child.
When I was at school, it was more about the accessories. You know, you had to have Oakley branded sunglasses to be cool, and the Country Road bag. There was a particular bag that everyone got from the local department store that was from the brand Country Road, and you know, if you had one of those, you were right at the top. At my kids' school, in grade 7, which is the first year of high school, everybody wears their winter jacket, and it doesn't matter what day it is or what the weather is, you have to wear this winter jacket. But in high school, in the final year of school, they have a special year 12 jacket, and they wear this thing with honor. You know, I made it, I'm in the final year of school, and so yeah, there's still a bit of personal expression, and you know, the girls always try to have their skirts up too high and that sort of thing, so there's still a bit of variation there as well.
Of course, but it's interesting. It really does not necessary to have some specific clothes or some. It's just like when you're trying to associate, like give some associations and some presentation of hierarchy or some kind of achievements or some kind of powers. You can pick whatever is really is available, whatever is on the market. For some people it will be clothes, for some people it could be some maybe special pencils or special shoes. It's you just find the reason and whatever will be around available, there will have a projection for this powers. So I was actually surprised how when we moved to US, that how little clothes really matters to Americans. Even cars don't really like that. Rich people don't really worry about clothes and don't really worry about cars. It can be different. You can go in Russians pay too much attention to the way they dress up. Because it's because associations related to this good clothes represent wealth, and it's you try to present yourself, and in US there is no such presentation unless it's really good clothes. Sometimes when we travel, we go to the store, supermarkets, like very fancy ones, and we see like how this Gucci and Versace and all this Uchi, other Uchis cost. We really, this is what can be presenting the wealth. And it's a shame that we don't even recognize them, like when we see them. Okay, so what other colors I want? I want to a little bit bright yellow.
I really like this idea that you can't stuff it up. You know, there's no right or wrong. And yeah, this is very powerful for me. You know, I think if I want to draw a tree or something that, you know, I might do that and then go, oh, it's not a very good tree, or it's not really what I imagined. But yeah, this process, there's no predetermined outcome. You know, it just happens, and it's not good or bad. It just is. And yeah, I really like that.
It really gives the opportunity to experiment without trying, like, afraid to fail. Like, okay, what it will be if I try this one? What if it will be if I try this one? It's really so many, so much more opportunities when you don't have expectations how it should look. And it can really surprise you, amaze you sometimes. Like, wow, I was able to create such thing. How did I end up here? So it's very interesting. Some yellow. I really like this. When I start, I was complaining like, oh, my drawing are so intense, there is no gentleness. Now when I use this harder pencil, I can be playful. I'm really, can be. There is no limitations anymore. I have the right tool. So how did you like my eyes? I'm like, really, I was so excited. I love how they look. Like this one. Look how big it is. It's a little bit, I got wet. It has a
incredible color.
And it's just, what is interesting about it, that you have no idea what colors it end up. Because there's so many colors here, and you don't know which one will pop up, which one will be dominant. So you can estimate that if you use green, there will be green, but it's actually some other colors that really show up more profound and more defined. So it's only take an hour to like really create such beautiful drawings. I'm kind of addicted to eyes now. I have my okay, so what else I want to try?
Is that a specific algorithm, or is it something non-neurographica?
It's more like a neuro art.
Oh yes, great.
There is some emotions you still express, but it's and you can add some background related like to neuro lines, but it's really just something different, something that just expand your toolbox for coloring, for experimenting, for expressing your emotions. It could be very quite emotional when you draw eyes. Eyes are like a mirror of your soul, and it's very interesting how you allow to be expressed. Okay, so I want to add something on sides. And as always, like when we finish the coloring, we add some field lines to make sure that everything on our logical levels related to our topic synchronized, not just with our mission, but with beautiful universe, with this divine purpose, with to be at the right place, that we really recognize right what is our mission, because we very often we think that is our mission and it's not. And it's could be quite a painful experience to discover that, like, oh my gosh, I spent so much time, so many years to achieve something, and it's ended up that I don't feel it's right anymore. So it's just interesting how to. And some suggestions and some clues are coming from different sources, like really. You just be attuned. First of all, you need to be attuned to yourself to see what is really resonates with you and what does not. Because if you, there's so much information always coming to you, and it's, some of it inspire you, some of it just pass by. It really doesn't make any difference on you. So here it is, and here it goes. Okay. See if you started already using colors. See how it's, your reactions in body changed. If there is any change at all, we just observe it. There is something. Let's see what else. And as always, we will have to see what we want to highlight, what is really wants to stand out, and is it your mission, or is it your role, or maybe some just specific circle that really in your in the triangle, or maybe outside, that brings a lot of your attention. So just see what really resonates with you. So this will be, as always, has any drawing, we see what we want to highlight. Okay. We finally in Seattle have very warm weather. It's now we have to use conditioners. It's finally, summer is finally here.
What's warm for you?
I don't know. It's today it was what, around 87, 90. So it was warm. I did not check the forecast, so but it felt very warm, especially after some.
Okay, early 30s Celsius.
In Celsius, I think today was quite warm, so maybe over 30, like 35 maybe. It's really warm. We had so not crazy, not like in South states, but it's good warm.
It's been like 26, 27.
26, 27? It felt like much more.
I think on Monday we got to 31 or something like that.
Okay.
That was pretty.
It's winter here at the moment, so I think it's going up to 17 or something on the weekend, which is starting to warm up again.
But it's winter at your place.
Yeah.
There is a little bit difference. Your winter and our summer is quite comparable. In Siberia, if the weather is over 30 degrees Celsius, it's very hard and it's a real disaster because people in Siberia prepared for cold, they prepare for -50, but when it's 35 or 40, that is very rarely but happens, it's really nobody has conditioners and it's a nightmare. It's really a nightmare how it's everybody starts melting, everything starts melting in the big city. So
Is that where you're from?
yes, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm from cold places. Very beautiful, but cold. Okay. Okay, interesting. All this yellow. Yellow is trying to reach up. So if you are creating the flow, make sure that this flow does not interrupt it, so that it's really going up, that it's really reaching your mission. So you align everything, your roles and everything with your mission, because it's there will be some, even if you have already color, so just go over it with the color of the flows to make sure that there is some energy moving, that there is no stagnation there. Okay, and field lines. 2 or 3 is usually enough. You can follow the line that already existing on your drawing, or you can create something new. So they not exactly has to follow the path that is defined. You can move them on the side of the pyramid and see how it's really resonates with you. The lines can cross each other, they can merge in divine. So it's follow your intuition, see how it really I want this go here, and I want this go here. Okay. And after you created field lines, as always, we round those corners because we need to make sure that it's harmonized with everything we do. That we are not forced by universe to change anything, but guided. This is a very big difference between being forced and guided. Okay. And see how this field lines, if there's any changes in your body and your sensations, if they really activated any energies. So if it does not, you just observe and confirm, okay, so there's no changes in me. So it's a, but you pay attention, you still pay attention to what is going on in your body, how to be connected to your body, how to be aware of your body. Okay. See if See if this field lines really created such a significantly different path, or is it just followed the path that was already original? Field lines really has their own personality. Sometimes they could be very dominant, they could be very bold. Sometimes they can be almost invisible, very gentle and blending very naturally in this surrounding. So just observe which one is yours, like which situation is yours. For some people, it's a very challenging to draw those lines. Like this really question of trust, question of surrender to the universe. And it's a really not so easy, not so fun for some people.
Anna, can you speak to why the field lines come so late in the process?
So they come late because we need to establish the flow first. We need to establish, imagine that the power of universe is a huge water force. You need to create some channels with all those lines and establish that the energy will move freely and will be aligned with what is going on your drawing. So it will not be overwhelming, that it still be moving. So there are some exceptions when we bring the field lines earlier in the process, but it's more like an exception. It's not it's not all the time. So the reason why we do it late, because we want to make sure that all this energy that it can give us, it's organically moving through all these other shapes and lines. Does it make sense?
Yeah, thank you.
And it's another thing that I consider the field lines. When you already aligned everything, that you already harmonized yourself, and you just need to have this energy boost to change, to really activate the change. You already, everything is aligned for the change. You just need this energy kick. But if you have no idea where you're moving and you have a lot of energy, could be a tricky business. You can be overwhelmed because you have no idea where you're moving. You have no idea where you're going. And it could be quite a challenge, overwhelming challenge. So sometimes when we have, when we desperately need energy, and it's not for really for changes, but just feel support, just feel connection, higher purpose of what is going on with you right now. In this case, there could be some exceptions, and you can draw field lines right away.
Okay, thank you.
So if you need support, you can invite them whenever you need them. But if you really, the whole topic is about changes, about actions, about reactions and actions, like I would highly recommend to do all this roundings and cleaning before you invite these powers. Because if you bring a lot of power, wherever it was fragile part can be damaged, can be really ruined. So if you want to be very gentle about this fragile parts, it's better if you work over them before you bring energy. Which of course you can establish how strong the power you want, how much energy you want to invite in your life, in your drawing, in your destiny. Not everyone wants to invite waterfall. Maybe you just want to establish gentle stream. I, at the beginning, did not like those field lines. I'm like, really it was a lot of resistance for me to draw them because they were so strong and it felt like so ugly. So I had to really learn how to integrate them, how to connect everything with them. Now I see them completely different. Like they really give me the structure at the end. Like they really shape the drawing. So.
Yeah, I think otherwise it's just abstract colors and lines, isn't it? So when you add the field lines, it helps to create a sense of meaning and definition to what you've done.
Yeah, and connection as well. So yes, meanings are very important here. And it's, again, we're working with different symbols and different stories, personal stories, first of all. And it's how you can, field lines, how you can go beyond your story, beyond your belief, and be connected to something greater, to something bigger, to something more meaningful for you. It's first of all, you need it to be to have such connection, not just stuck in your perceptions and limitations at the same time. You can name it differently. Some call it God, some call it oneness, and other people call it totality, universe, collective mind. So there will be many different names for it, but it's and different, even it will be different associations and different meanings to it, but it still be connecting to something greater than you are, something greater than even your family system is. It's part of it, but it's has this enormous energy, enormous resource for you, and align it. All this energy that we are connecting, I believe they already existing in us. We just align our core, our spine to accept it, to allow it to move through us without any blockages. So it's a very, I see it as a just activation, not really bringing something foreign to maybe it's more like a tuning, equalizing all this instrument that already set up in our mind, in our consciousness, in our body. Because when we're talking about being at the right place, meet right people, it's we recognize what is the right place for us, and we recognize who are those right people for us. It's not something that they will be marked as specific symbols. It's really how you can be attuned, what is right for you, what is wrong for you, and follow this guidance. Like the guidance will be still be somewhere hidden in you. But it's my vision. So officially, I don't know, Pavel Piskarev, the creator of the method, he is never said that this is built up inside of us. He is just allowing this connecting to the higher meanings and higher power. So this is what representing. So you can choose which one really, what it's really represents to you. How do you feel it?
It helps to, you know, for me, the very first drawings I did, you know, you provided feedback on those, and there was a lack of throughness, you know, of these field lines. They would always touch onto the, like say in this case, the triangle. It would go through the triangle, but not into it. And you know, it helps to, yeah, that flow of energy really, yeah, is very important, I think, so that because this is not, we talk about in this context, we talk about potential and purpose and things like that. It's not something that you arrive at. It's always a flow. This is something that I'm learning. You know, I'm always problem solving. So, you know, when you solve the problem, there's no more problem. And so I tend to think of these sorts of things as something that you arrive at or something that you complete. And, you know, but this flow of energy through it is not, it's a way of sort of completing the drawing in a way, but it's also a way of making sure that it's not stuck.
Yes, energy needs to move. And it's lines really represent, I've seen so many times on drawings of my students, and that we recognize this beautiful universe. We create these beautiful lines, and somehow they look so foreign. They really not waved in this process, in this drawing. They exist by itself and without really connecting anything in this drawing. So there is beautiful awareness that the universe exists, that it's very powerful, very generous, and somehow it's not really generous and powerful specifically for you. It's not supporting you specifically, and it's a process. Just first of all, be aware of it. Secondly, you learn how to integrate it, learn how to accept it, and how to work with this. And I've seen so many times when people have I've noticed, and like I was trying to say, like I've noticed that my body, like there's so many resources that are not really accepted. Like, you know that there is a resource, you know people available, you know they can help, that there is some information, there is some funds available, and you don't dare to go and take it. Why me? Why like so it's a lot of awareness, it exists, but at the same time there's no real actions to accept it. So it's and people not even aware. Like for us, sometimes it's that if I think that I need help is enough, but you need to go and do something. You need to ask for help. You need to say that you're looking for help. So it's a it's an action. It's really, you need to make sure that it's out there. The information, the energy, the message is out there about what you need. Nobody is going to guess what you need. Nobody is going to estimate when you will need it. I don't know how I was led by my ideas to this point, but okay. So if you want to highlight something on your drawing, please do so. See what you want, what is really is the priority number one on your drawing. It could be mission or something else. It could be your role. It could be some any other elements, any other components of your levels. Maybe environment, maybe behavioral, maybe some education that you need. See if there was some wow, I like some insight that you was not aware, and you just learn. For me, for example, my insights from all this today's drawing about health, that for quite a long time, like all my life, I thought that like health is just, I was born in health and there's never had any problems with it. So never really had to work to change it. And it's, and maybe I need to make sure that I expand my resources, not just overuse them. And it explains me why I really did not make much effort to change something. Okay. So see if you want to highlight any specific circles. How is it really? Which circle would it be in? I want, for this particular one, I'm going to okay, let's do green. For some reason it's going to be green. I will just highlight the role. my role, not mission, but role of a healthy, beautiful woman. So here we are. Okay, this is my and you can even highlight it. You can do some shading with a black color to make sure that it's really stand out. It's may create this beautiful 3D effect if you do some edges, like along of your edges. If you move and highlight, it could be very interesting, very beautifully integrated. You may highlight with the thickness of lines. You can make it just bolder lines around us, and around the circle, and it's usually really noticeable and powerful. But I prefer to do like this color, like I really color. So this is only one of the roles that we explored. You can explore other roles and see how it's really aligned, how it really depends on each other. So I explored my business side and I explored my health, and I'm a little bit agitated too. Like I'm not ready to go to explore maybe relationships. It's always some discoveries, some so I'm a little bit in resistance to go there, even and because everything is good right now, I don't want to risk anything. So when you have something to lose, you don't want to change anything. So when it's everything is quite a wreck, so it's easier to change, easier to take any actions and really to activate some. There will be different motivation. So right now, I think I will enjoy what I have with the relationship. If you want to add more lines, please feel free to do so. So see how you want to expand. Like really. I feel like I want a little bit bigger or increase this roll. I want to make it a little bit bigger. I want to just create a bolder line around it. Seems to me. I love big shapes. That's maybe I don't really realize right now when you have health, you don't really realize how important, how big is this role, how is it powerful role. We usually give this value when we losing something.
Very different drawing for me today.
Okay, are you ready to show?
Yeah, quite unexpected. I didn't really enjoy it actually. To start off with, a few circles, yeah, whatever. Just sort of go through the motions, and then yeah, when I added these lines, it just changed completely. So,
Wow.
Is the light very okay?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Very clear.
Very clear, yes. Very beautiful, strong lines on sides. It's interesting that your triangle is in the middle. It's not really standing on something. I would really maybe recommend you to draw a big circle, like you have a mission on top. If you draw similar arc of the circle on top of it, it will have more supporting. I see the roots that it's going somewhere, but it's really, it's still be hanging there. So if you can draw the circle that it's really rely on it, like it's maybe very supportive.
Like here?
No, on the bottom of the triangle.
Oh, down there.
Yes, yeah, something like this. It's maybe give you more support and more grounding.
Okay, yeah.
And maybe it will be really, it may represent earth, it may represent something else for you that will give, that you can just channel this energy from the above to this another big entity or energy resource. So very beautiful, strong branches, but see how
it's like the first time it wanted to be something, you know, not just abstract, you know, and this idea of having it as organic, you know, just sort of came to life. So I suppose it's kind of alive in that way.
It's very alive. Just see that some of those roots, especially, they are a little bit spiky. There is this energy that they're not smooth, they're not soft. They very demanding, like they really grab something. So it's just pay attention to such energy, that there is some desire to hold to something. So it's you still have some space for some more circles. See maybe something, try to go from the top. See what your role is and how it's maybe presented on the level of skills. Maybe something else you need to learn to expand this role, to really learn something new about this, that you can be capable to do, or something that it could be skilled to do or talented to do. So all this, there is very, like, my attention goes there, like there is so much potential that you're still missing.
Yeah, there's only one. Yeah, this is empty. Yeah.
See, just explore it. Just be aware of it. Like, okay, so based on this role, what else I can learn? What else I need to learn? What else I want to learn? Like, so it's a different opportunities. Yeah, very beautiful. It's a very earthy mission on top of you. There is all this blue and green. It really looks like Mother Earth.
Yeah, that was, I just saw it. I went, okay, it wants to be the planet or Earth or something. So, okay, just go with it.
So,
I find it really interesting, if I may say, just you know, I've been thinking about your comment, Matthew, about predestination as I've been working as well, and just the way that the color is different from that area compared to the rest. I just feel just curious about like how vibrant that is up there, and what that might, how that might resonate with you.
It's big. I was aware of that actually when I first drew it. I just drew a triangle, and I think the shape of it was too wide. You know, compared to Anna's, it's a lot taller. And so I drew this thing on top, and it's massive. You know, it's so much bigger than, you know, the width of the triangle is here, and the width of this goes all the way to the edge of the page. So, yeah, it's a sense of something greater, I suppose. But at the same time, it was kind of an accident. But you know,
there is no accidents.
Yeah.
Neurographic is just a representation of your consciousness. And another thing that I noticed, like you have so much brown colors, it gives really it's brown, yes?
Yeah, brown. Yeah.
So brown usually represents metal, structure, willpower, controlling. So you're trying to be very logical about what you, and I know that it's levels of logical levels, but if you try to allow this blue or green color moves down and a little bit nurture it, like give this more emotions, give it more support, inspirations, maybe some more wisdom or curiosity. So see how this whole triangle will be changing if you're mixing those colors, if you allow a little bit, some small streams of your mission start going down, how it will be changing.
Yeah, it's interesting that you say that. When I colored this part right here, it's so small. It's the part between let's call this like a beach or something, like sand, or I don't know. And then here it represents like wood, you know, earth. And as soon as I colored in this little part, it suddenly felt like it was all flowing down into it. And it's very interesting that you say that. It's so small, but I felt that when I colored that in.
So expand it, like expand as much you need, expand it as much you want, and see at which level there is stuckness. If there is any blockage, just review. Is it my beliefs? Is it my skills that I need to learn? Could be some very significant and very detailed answers to you in this process. So see how the flow is going. Because mission is always going from the up and down. So it's really motivates you, what you can do, what you can change. And change not just yourself. See how many branches you expanded to the surroundings. It's usually represent how active you could be in community. So you are not just standing alone triangle. You're really reaching out. So you're really trying to expand yourself. So it's very important to be guided by your motivation, by your energy from above, so you know that you are supported by this energy, not just your demands. So very beautiful. I'm always very curious. Your drawings are so different from so alive. It's always inspiration for, I believe, for everyone who is following us.
Yeah, it's so dynamic.
Yeah, there is a lot of energy there, so it's good. Thank you. Thanks, Matthew. I really appreciate your feedbacks, your wise observations. It's always a pleasure. Thanks a lot.
Oh, so, it's very, very interesting for me. So yeah, thank you.
So Trisha, do you want to show yours? Your inner conflict?
Yeah. Funny you should say that, because I had a catharsis.
Okay.
that showed up. And as always, I'm a little slow. It took me some time to get going.
Okay, so I noticed that you have such a huge circle on this right side. Yes?
Yeah. I became aware of kind of like two helpers that I thought might be able to help move things along or support me with this.
Okay, so I'm glad there is some. And it's interesting, like, have you done this gray shadings? It looks like it's already just,
Oh, I was writing.
These are because it looks like it has already like 3D effect,
Yeah,
some of those balls.
Yeah, right.
So it's I'm glad that you did some catharsis. It's really, if it was needed, and it's perfectly perfectly done. So you can expand it even more from like more lines from this, because there is still be a lot of energy in this role, and you can just expand it and see how is it really affecting, how is it really supporting everything else. You can expand it to the mission and down to the earth as well. So
with lines coming.
Yes.
Okay,
So
yeah.
did you end up with 2 roles, or is it
two identities, and then I started to notice just like maybe a more familiar identity that I started to work down here, and then I realized I couldn't until I did this and this. I couldn't put this part in. And so when I could figure out what the identity was that I wanted to that resonated with the mission, then it could come. And the conflict arose from but then I gotta let go of this. I gotta get rid of it. Okay. Or loosen it.
I'm very happy that you did it, because it's interesting how you just try different role. It's sometimes you even just experience, okay, so what if I try it? Like, what if I just see how it fits me, like something. And it's like, wow, it's perfect. Like I'm meant to be. It's some you try glove, and it's like your second skin. And it's like, oh, really? I can be this. This really feels good, and everything else aligned to it. And it's like everything starts to make sense. So it's I'm glad you did from the top, because
yeah, again and again, it's like so constellation-ish, like something moves and then everything else can find its place.
Just today, I want we did a class, master class with Russian group, and it was, I'll show you. This was a mandala of ancestry line. So this is really represents 7 generations of your ancestors, and how every person on this line represent one person in your ancestry. So maybe one day we'll do master class.
That's cool.
It's a lot of energy, really activating, very powerful tool, very constellational. So it's I actually, to prepare for this class yesterday, I was listening quite several interviews with Bert Hellinger to make sure that I really got the point, like what is his beliefs about family, how is it all this orders of love, and how is it moving, to make sure that, and it's and I'm glad I did, because there was some energy stuckness, and we need to move forward some of this beliefs and blockages with
I like this idea that you can do a catharsis in the middle of your drawing. It's usually the starting point, but if somehow it's sort of triggering, that you can just let it out as part of the process.
You can do it on the drawing at any time. Sometimes like you draw everything and you feel like, okay, so I got the concept, beautiful concept, and energy doesn't move. You really try to scan where the stuckness is and see what is really you cannot accept. And you can do the catharsis at any time. You can do it on the drawing, or you can do it somewhere else. Like if we working with some very fragile drawings, like with your portrait, like with your face, with some health related issues, I would not really recommend to do catharsis on the body, but on the side you can do another piece of paper and just express this intensity and pressure that you're holding inside of you. So it's yeah, catharsis are very beautiful. That's why we're really learning different options, like how you will learn there are like 4 ways to do catharsis in the basic user course. It will be some different options. And as you see, there is several algorithm, like several exercises where I invite catharsis as a partial option for this to activate the energy. It's really just release the pressure, release this. When we have this pressure, it means that there is some too much. And it's too much and it's entangled. So how you can untangle it and release, like relax it and allow the energy starts moving. It's like really very simple concept, very constellational, and it is at the same time very creative. Like this, there is so much similarity with constellations, and I still, because I have so much practice with the constellation work, I still recognize that some of my exercises, and especially when I work with one-on-one with my clients, this is my art constellation. This is the way that I can present to people concept, be connected to field, to be connected to each other. So it's a beautiful option. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's already 9:04 in Seattle. So I wish Matthew a great day for you today.
Yeah, thank you.
I hope this it's a good winter in Australia.
Yeah, nice to draw with you, Matthew.
Yeah, it was nice. Thank you.
So I'll see you next week on Friday.
Yeah.
So
Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Have a great
So
night, Trisha. Yeah.
I appreciate it. Yeah, see you later.
See you. The rest of our group already sleeping, so
That's soon too.
Okay.
Good night.
Bye.